Our first guest is Esther Westerweele from representing VMUG Europe. Esther and I worked together a few years back at VMware, and now she runs a company that runs events, including the VMUG Europe. And so let's talk with a little bit with Esther. Esther, welcome to Tech Reckoning Fest 4.
Hello, hi John. I'm sorry, I'm sitting in a restaurant because I'm in Paris today, and I moved my train schedule to make this call today. So sorry for the background noise, but
thank you.
No,
That's what this is all about. This is all about being live. This is all about being, this is all about just whatever happens, right? We're trying to get behind the scenes a little bit, and there's nothing more behind the scenes than talking with you in a restaurant in Paris. So.
Yeah.
Although if they continue to do construction work, we may have to mute you a little bit. I don't know. So hey, so Esther,
okay.
so you've been running tech events for a long time. You help the VMUG organization run the European chapters of VMUG. So for folks, and so there are folks here who are going to VMworld in Barcelona in next week. So can you talk just a little bit? I mean, I think everybody who's going to be there knows all about VMUG, but I don't know, maybe just a little bit, what's the scope of VMUG at this point in Europe, and kind of a little bit about what you're doing at the show.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you, John, for the introduction. So yeah, since I think it's 5 years now, we are helping VMUG with communities across Europe, Middle East, and Africa. We have, we're running over 61 communities in this region. And we help all the communities with their events, making sure that invites will go out, that websites are set up. And then on top of that, we are running 6 large conferences. The biggest one in the Netherlands with close to 1,000 attendees, and which is on the 19th of March. And we run events in Poland, in France, in the UK, which is on the 27th of November, and one in Italy as well. And of course, I forgot Germany. I cannot forget about the Germans. So we are, as a VMUG, also present at VMworld. We have a big stand over there. And in the stand, so please make sure that you come to the stand, because we have a nice gift for everybody. Make sure that if you're not a community member, that you sign up, and make sure that you get your own printed T-shirt at the VMUG stand as well. Besides that, we do a leader gathering as well during VMworld, and we have an executive lunch as well with, most of the time with Sati Gelsinger as well. So yeah, it's really great and good what we're doing at the moment.
Well, so Esther, I mean, so there's no big party over at VMUG Europe, and as we were talking before this, you were just saying that, it's a little bit different. In the US, it's a very cohesive, it's a little bit more of a cohesive community across all the different states. You've got people that'll drive for 10 hours to go speak at a VMUG in a different state. Obviously, Europe, with more languages and more local communities and more data jurisdictions and things like that, the job, you're not, although people move around in the Schengen zone, you're not, it's not as much, and you're more local connection. So you're focused more on the local, the German VMUG and the French VMUG and the English VMUG, and they're all, now there's some overlap, and depending on, and I know folks from the US have flown over to all of those, but it's a little more really local.
Yes, it's really local. So in the past we did a big party at VMworld Europe as well, but we came to the conclusion that this is not the same effect as in the Americas. In the Americas, people want to network. They can do business in the whole of America, which is not the case in Europe. People want to speak with their own people from their own country. Italians want to speak with the Italians, French want to speak with the French people. So for this reason, VMUG is sponsoring all the different local VMware parties. So you will see VMUG at the Dutch party, at the UK party, at the German party, at the Nordic party, because we think that makes much more sense than setting up a big event. And besides that, there are already many events at VMworld as well.
Yeah, for sure. Lastly, I mean, you run a lot of events. One of the things that people are talking about these days are that there used to be more, I think the perception is there used to be more general events, and now there are a lot of vendor specific events. Now, I think user groups are one way to kind of pull the power back to the users, but you know, there used to be these, there are still some big expos. I mean, there's like a PC Expo or IT something
Yeah,
in the
Gartner IT
UK.
Expo, which
And there's a Hanover
yeah,
Messe.
and you
I
have
mean, there's
Gartner.
giant industrial conferences, but, and there's,
Yes.
you know, but I don't know, what do you see as the kind of future of events over the next couple of years here?
You see, like, it's getting more and more to the specific events from the vendor. Or it needs to be like a really a topic related, but like the big events like an info security, and especially like we are running info security in the Netherlands. We are over there the coming days, and you see those events are just getting less and less interested for people. People are really interested in the specific topics, and they want to hear from the user as well. So what I see, like those community events are very popular for people as well. So like a user from it's always, wow, very nice, and to see how people are getting in, and also the sponsors of those user conferences, they're very happy with the quality of the people that are at the event, which is different when you do, like, for example, a large AWS event. So we do like, I have a part of my company is working at AWS, and you see that there are like many attendees, but the quality of the contacts are not that good as, for example, you go to a community event like a VMUG.
Well,
Because
yeah,
like,
there's a little bit of a higher motivation to go to maybe to a smaller event or to a user group than, oh, I'm going to get off work for the day and see what kind of swag I can get. Maybe. Well, you know, I think we need both, right? We need small events where you can network. We need bigger events where you can get a big picture. It's kind of interesting that, you know, the media, maybe it's because the media landscape has pulled back, that there's not as many general events. But I think, you know, I mean, there's no shortage of events, which is that's for sure, right? That's not going away? I assume.
No, that's for sure. No, that's not going away. There's always a need for the personal touch as well. So besides all the events that are done online, there's always a need for doing the network and to see people face to face.
Yeah, as much as I love this, and I can do it from my house where I may or may not have power, you know, there is something the same. There is something great about being in the same room, right? And actually, you know, eating with someone and hanging out with them and, you know, getting drunk, whatever. If that's your thing, let's not privilege that. But well, great. Anything else? Let's see. Anything else you're excited about coming up? I know in the U.S. they're talking about. I mean, they do the user cons, and they're starting to do some other, you know, things like that, and dinners, and I don't know. VMUG, you know, continue on. I think. Seems anything else coming up? So ship sales forward this year in 2020.
No, we have the big user cons coming up, so that's actually the main important one. And then of course, well, have a look at VMUG Advantage as well. That's something that I can recommend to everybody to have a look at as well.
That's right. VMUG Advantage. I guess it's a subscription, or I don't know if they call it a subscription or a product, but anyway, it's a discount on a lot of good stuff, training and product, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
I love the. Do you go to VMworld US? Have you been there lately?
No, not this year, but I've been there several times. Yeah.
Right. I don't know. So I'm just kind of curious. How do you see the difference? So this year it's in Barcelona. I love Barcelona. I always feel like it's, as a U.S. person going to Europe, the U.S. event is always such a zoo. So I always feels a little more calm in Barcelona, but it also feels a little, I don't know, a little more channel oriented, a little suitier, a little more getting business done and less partying, maybe because there's more channel, less end users there. I'm not quite sure, but there are end users there, but maybe the mix is a little different. I don't know. Do you see a difference in the two conferences?
What I see, like, I have a feeling in the Americas, it's a little bit more technical audience as that you have in Europe. And you see in Europe, indeed, like you see like a lot of partners as well, but there are also many end users as well, because that's the real focus from VMware, to get the end users to those events as well. So I think that there's like a good mixture of the two of them, and but it could be that in the US it's a little bit more end users as partners. That could be the case.
Yeah, there's kind of a balance, right? You know, at some level you get all the way to trade show where there's like musicians and jugglers and like flaming, you know, carnival people, and it kind of, at some point it's just spectacle, and I know people are there for the content.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Esther, Esther, thanks so much. I think I'm not sure where I haven't talked to Amy here. I think we're ready to go. I can riff for a little bit, but anyway. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for changing your schedule. Really appreciate it. I mean, VMUG is really, it's really. I mean, I've worked with a lot of different companies who have user groups, who are starting user groups, and you know, and also a lot of VMUG people we talk privately, and for all the kind of challenges that a big organization like VMUG has, and a global organization like VMUG has, it is really something special. So you know, thanks for all you do and all you bring to the table here, and how you foster community that way.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Esther. If folks want to get a hold of you, I guess they can just talk to their local VMUG rep. You're not on Twitter these days or anything like that, but just talk to your local VMUG folks, and they can get a hold of you.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Awesome.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Esther Westerweele.